Over 83 a game will get the basketball first. And here's Kira Lewis, one of the best, not only in this league, but in the country. And Nico gets the block. Galen Smith, who gets the start today over.
So now playing 25 minutes, and you get used to a whole different rotation. And then when they come back, you got to do it all over again. You got to get your rotation right.
Here's Kira Lewis, nice little pump fake.
And we were talking about Missouri taking advantage of the size. That time Alabama did with the switch.
Here's Kira Lewis, guarded by Pinson. Pinson may have gotten a piece of that one. And the Tigers out and running, up ahead to Smith. Back to Pickett. Kicks it out to Lewis. That's a good catch and shoot. There you go.
Paint touch. Not your traditional post-up, but basically he dribbled himself into a post, trying to force a little bit. Let it happen for you.
Lewis off the back of the rim. Tillman the rebound.
Especially when you're playing with a guy like
Smith. Lewis. Shifty move to the basket.
I mean, if you're going to trap him, you better not let him get around you. Better make him change directions.
Lewis, little floater. Second time he's gotten in there. Boy, he's got a nice little teardrop.
Right. And it started with Reese driving, and now everybody.
One on the shot clock. Awkward shot. Now Mitchell Smith trying to keep it alive. Can't do it. Alabama will have another.
Just a no ball penetration and try to make a lazy half-court pass. I mean, just a terrible decision.
No good. Nico up and under on Petty. No good. No whistle. And Petty back to Lewis.
There you go.
That's it. That free throw home, and Missouri back out in front by a point.
All those scrum plays, all those second effort plays, loose ball, 50-50, whatever you want to call it, Missouri's coming up with it. In this day and age, it's all three-point, but you've got to have presence in the pace.
Probably the biggest under-the-radar SEC player of the year. Alabama's got to get some more wins, but you will not find a better point guard than Kira Lewis in this league.
Shot clock horn sounds. Rebound to Herbert Jones. Here's Kira Lewis back the other way. Boy, he just put it into another gear. That is just something else. Matter of fact, they only had 2 field goals from inside the three-point line. Both those by Kira Lewis. But Kira will try for the three here and buries it.
Experience in SEC play that I think is going to help both Vanderbilt and Coach Jerry Stackhouse be successful.
Floater from Lewis. Well, that's some high quality stuff right there with those guys. Kira Lewis.
Oh, that's so good. Defense, and they're throwing Alabama off from their trapping and their pressuring that I don't think Alabama expected coming into play.
Lewis can't get it to go. Alabama's gone almost 4 minutes without a field goal.
Jerry Stackhouse now goes to a matchup zone right now.
That won't.
Like the fact that Coach Jerry Stackhouse has disrupted this offense. And the way you answer that if you're Alabama, number one, you get it into his hands a lot more, Kira Lewis. But the defensive changes and the scheme by Coach Jerry Stackhouse has stunned this offense a little bit.
Boy, Kira Lewis is too quick.
Well, you don't want to tournament lives.
Saban Lee with those 20 points. Had his career high 34 10 days ago against Georgia. And right away, they go to where they should go. That's Kira Lewis. He'll get him on the board.
Maxwell Evans on him. He's got to be strong enough and tough enough to go back up and put it in the rim.
Lewis gets another chance. Kira Lewis won't go. Disu the rebound. In the opening minutes of the second half. Here's another takeaway. Kira Lewis.
On the stretch of this last 14 minutes of this game.
Kira Lewis cups it and lays it in.
That's pretty good.
Kira Lewis. Evans
obviously means you have more turnovers than assists. It's usually a difficult night, but they're shooting 13 of 26 from the three-point line has kept them in it.
Davis.
It's an offensive connector. We say this all the time. And when Alabama defends, then that allows them to get out in transition to score baskets that they need. What a shot by Lewis. If I'm Lewis, I'm going right to the rim to see if I can score or get fouled.
There he goes. Guarded by Evans. It's short, tapped around, taken by Pippen. But this is going to be a tough, tough loss for Alabama to handle.
Sure. I think it's important for Alabama fans, though, to realize that their season is far from over.
Finally, Carolina misses a shot. Lewis loves those ball screens. Stop and pop, and it kicks up a couple of times. There's a lot of teams out there that perform exceptionally well at home but struggle away from home. Lewis all the way. A rare miss for him on a layup attempt. And then an over the...
Breaking down the jump shot.
Should have been breaking down the beautiful rotation splash. Right. Who are you, Pat Bradley? I don't even recognize you anymore. Fresh drive and kick to Lewis, and he'll reset with 8 on the shot clock. Lewis breaks his man down, fades, fires, misses everything. Teams, a loss would be critical. A win, another feather in the cap as we get closer and closer to Selection Sunday. Lewis off to a slow start, but a foul down.
That's the only other three-point shooter you got to worry about.
Steal by Lewis. Lewis all the way. Got it. Box out that time by Forbes of Alabama.
Stop the ball, at least slow him down. Easier said than done, isn't it, Mike?
Wow. Everything but the back.
Well, yes, no question. And Javian Davis did a good job of reading Coach Sarr's left hand coming to the center. What a nice, nifty scoop.
I mean, he just put...
That's not an easy one if you're a right-handed shooter to go inside out to the right side.
Lewis on another blow by. Can anybody stay behind?
Levesque, understanding Davis isn't a three-point shooter, is essentially he should be playing with 1 foot in the paint.
Lewis, that is all
Pop cuts by Keyshawn Bryant to get himself a bucket. Moving without the ball.
Step back three. Look out. He's got to take the shot here, right? Lewis with 4. Lewis with 3. Lewis on a pull-up 3. Missed it, and that's how the half. Nice job on the glass by Javian Davis. Lewis, another blow by. Scoop shot. Oh, man. Whip pass down low. Jones bobbled it. Lewis fires it and hits.
When we talk about the up there, see all of the, now it's switched back to a man-to-man.
Coats are on Lewis. Lewis pulls up 14-footer. No. Follow-up stuff by the... Lewis hounded by Kusnard. Lewis gets by, throws it up there, missed it short. Coats are on the rebound.
Here you go. That's knowing the scouting report. Guys, I think they settle too much. I love to see that.
Bolden, step back 3, no good. Chased down by Shackelford. Lewis again for 3. That one won't go. Severe of a brace.
Well, you don't want to ever assume what happened. Kira Lewis trying to take this game over. I love his explosion again. And this doesn't surprise me. This is what I've expected from Mississippi State all year long. This is what they can do when they play at the level that they're capable of playing, but Alabama is not.
Shot clock down to 7. Alabama in rare territory here. Lewis, deep 3. No good. Davis rebound.
Without John Petty in that basketball game, I'm anxious to see if that changes for Alabama.
Petty likes what he sees from his...
To the puzzle for Coach Nate Oates. John Petty, a huge piece. Let's see who else steps up for the Crimson Tide. I'll look for this man right here to do it. Woo! Big basket.
Woodard lost the handle, and Herbert Jones comes away with a steal. Kira Lewis flying down the lane. Count it. Perry with 13 and 9 rebounds. Kira Lewis, little stutter step. Perry with a block shot.
Love it.
No Petty, no Herbert Jones. Kira Lewis is still on the floor, though. Can't convert.
Yeah, it was tremendous.
18 points, 11 rebounds for Mr. Perry. Kira Lewis, that one's short. Boy, he's trying to
do it by himself. You're a defender, you have to be improving your conditioning. If you're a fan base, you need to be turning out and being better fan base for your team.
Kira Lewis right to the rack.
That's a shot that Nick Weatherspoon can get any time.
Kira Lewis with a floater.
And you need a bucket, so whether it's 2 or 3, it just needs to be quick and efficient.
High arching 3 from Lewis, no good, tapped out of bounds. Lewis at the horn, and that will do it. Misses.
We're content. They want to get into the big dance, and they've certainly got a chance if they win tonight. Lewis cocks and fires a 3 and knocks it down from straight away. Kick pass into the corner. Wheeling, dealing. Jones has to let it go. Back out, sets up Lewis on a tray, and that's his second triple.
Kira, they're a much different team. Takes pressure off of Breein Tyree.
Lewis on a leaner. Kira Lewis on fire in Division I college basketball last year. He's still younger than some of the freshmen for Alabama. Lewis again. Lewis is on fire again.
Back to this man-to-man, and Breein Tyree's played every minute defending Kira Lewis Jr.
Lewis can't get that one to go. That's his third. Something to keep an eye out here early in the second half. Lewis around the screen, flows up a leaner. Boy, he is crafty. A cast on the left. His offhand, the right hand still making plays. 3 ball from the corner. Lewis hit the side of the backboard. Shackled
a little while to get accustomed to how to play defense. Energy and effort you need on a play-by-play basis.
Kira Lewis. You get the feeling that something could implode here any moment, and then Lewis with an easy drive. Ole Miss has hit their last 6 shots from the floor. Lewis behind the back. Lewis, how did he even get that off? Schuler boards it. He stands with some bubble teams. Also, that's the latest on Florida. They lost a heartbreaker to Kentucky today. And if Kentucky...
Throws one-handed in the right hand. But Mike, what he did on Saturday was 17 rebounds. Incredible.
With one hand, and you're shooting free throws with your offense. 3 run for Alabama. Mitchell, who is this Wendell Mitchell? He's been in a shooting slump almost the entire year, and already with 10 points.
If they can match that effort and intensity on the defensive end, because teams will make you guard a lot longer than you want to guard, and Wendell Mitchell is on as they're moving the basketball. They're making the defense move. It's not one guy guarding one guy. They can put it on the floor, and if they start making A&M chase a little bit. Now, A&M is basically not hesitant.
Lewis can't find it, but another offense.
In a building.
Lewis hits this.
Ready.
He's ready again.
Now they got how quickly fly again. They've got to get to Shackelford because he's shooting it well. Petty, you still give him a little bit of room because he hasn't made many.
Oh, Mark Turgeon. I mean, there's a lot of good things that the A&M program has to offer.
Well, I don't know all around athletically if there's a better. Penn State by 2 points, and they weren't even at full strength. And again, my argument a little bit with Joe Lunardi is the fact he's got, seems like every team in the Big Ten.
Right.
And that sideline, he's got his guys going.
See that number on the left of your screen, projected bids from Joe Lunardi. The Big Ten right now projected at 10. The SEC at
Joe's
4
got to get
every now and then, but not nearly the 83 points per game they're averaging.
the freshman Gordon has been quiet, but he's capable of making some shots.
Nebo carves out some space inside and gets the layup to go.
How quickly? A little bit of acting. Got the call. You know, if you're flagged, you can't extend, no matter what, you just can't extend on.
Nothing but nylon on the first.
Good confidence. He went up there. His teammate had just missed 2, but no problem.
Joe Lunardi's bubble. Now it is off, and it's got few chances left to get back on the bubble and potentially get into the NCAA tournament discussion. Wide open look for Lewis. He brings it up with one hand. Remember, he broke the wrist January 29th against LSU. There's Lewis for 3.
Trying to tighten things up even a little bit more. It's just a 2-point game.
Lewis set up finally by Bolden. 1%. Essentially a must-win for the tie. Lewis watches it roll through.
Change the narrative of this team in regards to the NCAA tournament. For the first 19 minutes, they've done a really good job.
One of the most efficient scorers in the league. And we'll see him in maybe a half hour. Corner 3, Kira Lewis.
To realize Alabama drives to kick, not necessarily to score. Kira Lewis will be the one guy that's different.
Tried to scoop it with the left hand. Charles Manning. Lewis to take it all the way. Manning just smothered him. Lewis all the way.
Excuse to not be the best that you can be and take a play off or take time off. And you really don't. Just be the best that you can be right now at this point. And I think that's real important. And I think that this team is playing that way right now. And the other thing is that the type of person, how about not forgetting about that there is life. And when I was coaching the women here, he was unbelievable helping me trying to recruit players here.
Lewis with a big 3. That's
teammates would attest to that. They would probably think that was true, but really, everybody has a role on the team, and I think that's a part of understanding what your role is.
With him. Mays on Lewis. 2 best players on each roster. Today they're all falling. Not many looks in the paint. Lewis knifes in. Another offensive rebound.
The disorganized, if you just move even 2 or 3 feet, it changes the run out of the defensive player from where you were.
All right, so had 1 stop. They cannot string consecutive stops together.
Here, if he's going to kick it out to somebody wide open. If not, try to finish through contact and get to the free throw line.
Marlon Taylor pins it.
On the offensive end, they've got a number of weapons. John Petty, Kira Lewis. Shackelford is tremendous for a freshman. Somebody's going to have to step up, knock down a couple of shots. So that time at Auburn.
He had 7 threes off the bench. The power Auburn to that come from behind win against LSU on Saturday. Into the corner.
But hand down, man down, to quote Mark Jackson. McCormick closes with his hand down. Bolden knocks it in.
Denzel Purifoy didn't play on Saturday.
A whole new perspective on Ram trucks. Because to us, there are no small jobs, no little tasks.
Isaac Okoro, coast to coast, so explosive. Wiley with
back to the matchup for Auburn. With Davison.
Bama down 9.
Bama needs to find a little offensive rhythm. They really had it going in stretches. This zone has cut down a lot on their player and ball movement.
Shackelford for three. An air ball. Bolden finds it. Shot clock winding down. Bolden blocked by Wiley. Wanted a call, didn't get it. What great control. You overplay him to one side, he'll beat you on the other.
And he very seldom spins, but when he does, he lands off 2 feet, allowing him to pivot.
They go 1 of 2 again. Third straight trip they've done that. That's killer in a close game.
In a 4-point game, it would be a 1-point game.
With a broken wrist. Shackelford. Board for Jones.
Great substitution. Nate Oates knows his team. Get a stop here to give themselves a chance.
Tigers have missed their last 6 field goal attempts. Wiley gets a touch on the block.
Throw that hook.
He does after a pump fake.
Love the initial.
Even on a made basket, Georgia wants to get it out of the bottom of the net and run. Just a poor pass.
Petty again on the offensive rebound. A kick outside to Lewis off the side of the iron. We'll get you the 3-point numbers in just a moment. Kamara running the floor, and that ball deflected away. Alabama's turned it over 3 times. Lewis at the other end, points off turnovers. Vital down. Didn't look like a 30% 3-point shooter. He looked like you when you were at Arkansas.
No hesitation, young man.
Lewis aggressive. Boy, the tempo of this game.
There's where he's going to be most successful.
Boy, back and forth we go. Look at Lewis turn on the Jets. Number 2, Kira Lewis. Talked about Kira Lewis as well, averaging 17 points and 3rd best in terms of assists. Look at that. That is way too easy. There's Kira Lewis. It was Pitt. Lewis. Oh, he gets that to go home. I don't think he had room. Florida averaging 25 a game over the last 3.
Look at that, in the paint again.
Needs a bounce, doesn't quite get it, and the rebound.
It's a bust to our 8th grade basketball games, you know what I mean?
You're killing me. Good block down inside, but not there that time. Davis has played nicely. You mentioned it. If Alabama, with the perimeter talent that they have, can get some post presence, they're a dangerous team. Step back jumper knocked down by.
Back, Alabama's got to find the open shooter. I realized it was a broken play. That is a wide open, high percentage 3.
Lewis right to the front of the rim, rebound taken by him.
Go and get it. I love guys who you don't have to call a play for them. They can make a difference in the game, Mr. Kamara.
Lewis answers at the other end. Ball deflected away, nice steal. Alabama on the run out. Laid up and in by Lewis.
That's a perfect answer right there. You got Alabama's defense on their heels, running back, and attacking Anthony Edwards is a good thing.
Lewis. Pull up jump shot. Edwards off the front of the iron. Lewis again. Almost got that to go. A break for Georgia.
Paul, he made him work for it.
Evans now with 11. Coming on once again, Donnell Gresham Jr., number 0. Count the basket. Kira Lewis again.
Bama goes straight back to that action with Reese and Kira. On the screen and roll, there was a switch that time. That's why Tom Crean said no.
Track 5 top 100 recruits. In 1 year, Tom Crean got 5 top 100 recruits to come to Athens. Good shot from down. That is a huge make for the young man out of Chicago.
What he needs is a little pressure, a little shot clock pressure to make it.
Lewis feeling it. That was straight as an arrow, and Herod.
You got a defensive rebound, take care of the ball.
Lewis again, high up off the glass, tipped up and in.
Kamara on Kira Lewis now. That length.
Well, the floor is completely spread and off the bounce once again. Lewis, step back, jump shot, easy read.
Alex Reese with his first 3. He's the marksman from beyond the arc. Smith makes an immediate difference on that offensive scouting report for every team that plays Alabama. Lewis. Foul drawn by Pons.
Alabama, they like to score in a hurry. It's average of 15 seconds.
Drawn by Alabama, and there's the first on Pons. Nate Oates, he likes to track what he calls the blue-collar points. That's charge. In one form or another, advised Rick Barnes to have a seat. Lewis. Games in some crucial SEC games. He's trending that way once again. The sophomore from Meridianville, up near Huntsville. On the pull-up.
Size for Tennessee, the quicks for Alabama. Both teams also struggling with turnovers, man. 14 for Alabama tonight. Tennessee with 9.
8 to shoot. Gaines puts it up. Lewis on the run.
Tails now. As we get down in the last few minutes of this ball game, the Vols have a good chance to pick up a road win. It's just a must win for Alabama. Their NCAA tourney hopes. Petty Jr. able to hit that basket in the paint.
Bowden dials it up. Down and out.
The block.
Pons missed them both.
But the bottom of the net. Look at that thing. Put that English, as you called it, Kevin Fitzgerald. Spinning it in, and that is a nominee. We move toward the Vols here in this second half. They have controlled tempo. They've been able to get to the foul line just a ton in this second half. And now
point lead. Tennessee whittled it to 8 at the half. Can it clinch it here with a free throw?
Frank Martin, tough out.
Did you expect that? Here's Petty. His first shot off the mark.
Yeah, because they seem to always get better in league play.
Both Lewis and
a few possessions ago when they got the shot clock violation. He can't turn those down. If he's open, take them.
Oh, that rejection by Reggie.
You wonder, will he even enter the lineup again? But he stuck with it. Coaches gave him a chance, and now he's starting and playing over 20 minutes a game.
Well, we were talking to Coach Musselman about it, his attitude. His 4th straight 20-point game. And he's up over his season average with more than 16 minutes left. There's that burst of speed that Arkansas has lost 3 straight SEC games. He's trying to snap that skid today. Lewis. That's.
Oh, Nate Oates frustrated. Arkansas does a nice job denying the entry. Now just a no-pass possession. Not what Alabama wants.
Petty misfiring from the free throw line as well. He's got a second chance. Lewis for 3. Shackle for injury on it this morning and is out indefinitely. He could very well return before the end of this season. There's Lewis with a big basket. Just 7 have played today for Arkansas, or Alabama. Lewis with consecutive drive to the rim. 1 point. Kyra Lewis stops, shoots, Smith the board.
Court, even though you're down Herb Jones, but the other team's down a star too with Isaiah Joe limping.
Lewis, he got that shot smothered by Cheney, and he gets the Hogs have embodied guts and courage this season. Time and time again, they come back, especially in second half. Alabama has to push and get to the rim.
Boy, they went earlier than I would have liked if I'm Coach Musselman.
Lewis for 3.
And when his selection and his feet are set.
For 22 LSU with a 1-point lead at home, Kyra Lewis off the mark. He's coming up. Junior lead them in scoring. Off the window on a gliding move by Kyra Lewis. Analytics standpoint really doesn't like. They love threes. They love at the rim twos. Not a fan of runners. Not a fan of long 2-point jumping.
So what did LSU do right there? It's building all you want. We're not going to let you drive the ball on us, and we are not going to foul you and let you get those other 40 or 50 points that you have to get from layups and free throws.
Kyra Lewis commits his, and there's some nuance to that for Pat Adams. That wasn't as much of a kick as much as it was a drift, but still trying to accomplish the same thing.
Absolutely it was.
8th turnover for LSU. Wild shot. Williams trying to bail his teammate out. Out to Watford. Good stroke. Remember when his brother hit a shot from there against Kentucky?
And just the toughness and the energy, because that did not show up on any stat sheet. It was just a simple deflection and a game-saving play by Ashton Hagen. I'm getting choked up.
Marlon Taylor gets up quick.
Absolutely hammer you, Tom, on that offensive glass. It's a shoulders game. And LSU is winning.
It's a key every night for LSU. 13 boards tonight on the offensive glass.
I love that Seton Hall team that those guys are talking about in the studio. Number 2 in red. Talking about Kira Lewis. He's taking the ball anywhere he wants to take it, anytime he wants to take it. So now you've got the conversion kick-out threes in play.
Wofford has a career-high 13 rebounds tonight. Williams, long strip through lap, and falls out. Been that kind of night for Alabama now, with 2 to go and LSU in control.
Their glass are added bonuses for the Wildcats.
Alex Reese will set the screen. He's tough from deep. Everybody is on this Alabama team. Herb Jones set an Alabama school record for charges taken last year. He took 23 of them.
I like this action. They run this. Herb Jones off dribble penetration to throw back to Kira. Alex Reese stays with it, showing that he's more than just an offensive player.
Lewis trying to shake McAtee. Over the...
Cut this back to a 1-possession game. Great defense right there by Kira Lewis. Going to get him a layup.
Or a dunk. 4 straight for Lewis. Petty gets cut off, swings to Lewis. And somehow he snuck through on that baseline drive. He's got a Baker's energy, wasn't he?
He was a great player.
And this one's tipped away and stolen by Kira Lewis Jr. and an easy layup.
Alabama just seems to be a little quicker to the ball here as of late. That was a great lead pass. Good court vision by Xavier Sneed.
Kira Lewis pull up. On paper, Nate Oates was...
K-State a little matchup zone. First time we have seen that.
Kira Lewis over the top of the zone. He's got
Karam. Something you don't see much.
Maybe ill-advised and shot up.
Head coach at Southern Illinois, we were talking earlier, and he said this kid with the ball is as talented as we've had. It's a consistency issue, but you can see his talent. Great hands right there by Alex Reese. They were trying to get to a little dribble handoff. It leads to the fastest guy in the building.
May look different, but it's still effective. Here's Reese now with the dribble handoff.
Tough spin.
Finish. Kira Lewis Jr.'s got 20.
So is the Tide's offense. Second in the country in scoring. Here's Kira Lewis Jr. with a shot clock winding down the mid-range. Of course, that's been well documented. Albert off the mark. Good start for Bama on the road. Kira Lewis Jr. Alabama into a draftable commodity at the next level. And by the way, he's just a junior.
Because he can guard multiple positions. Oh, man, what about a crossover there? Oh, my goodness.
Kira Lewis around trailing by 7.
You know what he's doing? Jordan Wright I'm talking about. He's earning more PT.
Lewis gets it back. Lewis rejected by Pippen. Shot clock at 2. And the Commodores
offensive end right now.
Yeah, it feels that way, doesn't it? Reese launches. Petty taps it out. Here's Kira Lewis for 3. That's a big basket. For the time being, as the shot's off the mark by Wright. Was it tough?
Yes, sir. I mean, it was more of a coaching and medical staff decision. Like
Saban Lee again misses a point-blank shot.
Lewis. Perhaps 2 wide open. Their last 5 have been decided by a combined 13 points. So, I mean, they're living on the edge with these close games, but they find a way. Give them credit for those wins. It's not easy to do.
At the end of the day, who did you play? Who did you beat? And LSU right now is beating everybody.
Lewis high off the glass. That's an and one. We certainly do. You were getting dinner recommendations from Coach Stackhouse earlier today, and he was happy to oblige. He's a positive guy. We've seen him now in 2 tough losses, clapping, imploring his guys to play hard, still coaching them up, as you would expect.
This game will tell him more about his club than the Auburn game because of that mental aspect that you're talking about. Lewis to the rim. Some contact, no whistle, rebound.
You can't let him have a straight line drive rim to rim.
You might as well go for the rebound, right?
John Petty, one of the best three-point shooters in the nation.
Hitting at a 48% clip on the year for John Petty Jr. And that'll be the first on Xavier.
Yeah, Missouri is not a shot blocking team. They're more of a team that rotates off of penetration.
Lewis.
And they clear it out for him. Just look at everybody on one side of the floor.
Well, you don't want to be the guy to miss one now, right? If you're Missouri.
No way.
There are pressure free throws, but these are now been intensified a few notches.
A lighter frame allows you to go back up quickly.
Kobe Brown having a nice homecoming. Is their friend now. Up 10. Alabama. Lynn Smith with the block, and he comes over the basketball.
And on the other side, Nate Oates gets a technical foul. It's a 5-point play for Missouri, and his team responds.
Reinvention offensively after all the talent that they lost last year. Stolen away. Here's Kyra Lewis. Third dunk of the game for Bama.
Yeah, defense leading offense, right? He's a 58% shooter from the floor, so he is a very efficient offensive player.
Alabama solves the press. Kyra Lewis has it blocked by Wiley. Scooped up by Allen.
And Bruce is very candid. He knows his team has got a lot of room to improve, as does this Alabama team. And Alabama's getting better and better defensively. NATO team, but you cannot reach and hold, or he is going to live at the free throw line. Love that play.
Lewis couldn't cash in a Wiley Yanks transfer, better known as Beetle.
Late in the clock here.
This doesn't happen very often. Kyra Lewis gets it to the rim. It's only the 27. 10 turnovers for Auburn. They average less than 13 turnovers a night.
There he goes again.
The reverse slow Massey off the window, and Kyra Lewis has it around. We told you Alabama's shot selection, they prefer threes and layups. Bama's only shooting 50% on their layups. And there's another miss from inside. Credit Wiley in the good number. Here's Dowdy. Top 3 scores for Auburn combined for 2. And Auburn picks up where they left off. They turn it over. Kyra Lewis off the window.
That's how Alabama started the game. May be better at the rim because he is so explosive, and we saw that right there. Big basket cuts this to a 5-point game.
Kyra Lewis can't answer, and a shove from behind.
Hopefully it's not something serious. He'll be able to re-enter the game. That's going to be, I thought they may get him for a travel. He slid his foot a little bit. Great on ball. We played Auburn every year. Used to be at the old BJCC prior to the building of Bartow Arena. Then he started going home and home. Another great drive. Hey, who's guarding whom? Right there, no one had Beetle Bolden. Easy entry, lost opportunity.
Wow, Kyra Lewis.
Patient. And then do something driving to the basket. That is where they have had an advantage, and there's Kyra Lewis.
Push ahead. Kyra Lewis again.
That's the story of the game. Inability to stay in front of Kyra Lewis.
By Buffalo down to Morgantown. That Buffalo team last year was excellent. Won well over 30 games, NCAA tournament. What a drive. Kyra Lewis Jr. is a big ball and pressing a little bit. And, it's nothing to worry about. A little horn set with 2 up top, 2 in the corners. Wow. How easy is that? Wow. God, what a total miscommunication there. Reason to do that. You force the player one way into a screen, usually to their offhand. But that was just really poor defense.
They played it differently this time. Lewis still got the switch. But
that's mostly because of the long rebounds. I mean, that is really hard to deal with, especially when you don't see this many threes.
And a chance for 3 at the other end. Nice slip try to change that. They're now 1 for 10, but another offensive rebound. Lewis, left hand, in and out. And Richards down, but they're all good to great defenders. And again, even though Quickly doesn't start, this is probably the best lineup when these three are in together.
Yes. Mistakes that have been forced by the Wildcat defense.
Unbelievable to see Kentucky 5 of 6 from three-point range, and nothing is falling.
Oftentimes the inadvertent ones hurt more than the intentional ones.
Sestina threw it away. Bolden ahead to
Earl. He sets a little pin down screen. And I think it was Quickly just gave him that little pocket pass, and then he took advantage of it, getting that left hand in the middle of the lane. Point line. If they get twos, you know, Cal's saying, hey, that's on me. Can they make enough twos to beat us? And the answer so far in the game has been no.
Higgins makes them both. 6-point game. You just keep thinking, especially if you're someone who follows Alabama.
1 of 2 for Weatherspoon. Here comes Kira Lewis Jr.
See how explosive.
Open the dunk for a 3. Smith taps it to Lewis. And he was swatted out of bounds. Shackelford 1-on-4.
The freshman's going to learn that's not a good look.
Kira Lewis. Alabama ice cold these last couple.
Phenom Okoro. I mean, there's a lot to like about Auburn, but I'm going to tend to agree. I think San Diego State probably has a little bit easier path.
Strong finish at the rack.
Bulldogs doing what the Bulldogs do best. Offensive rebound. Oh, my goodness.
Lewis! How did he sneak through the paint?
Bama could go 2 for 1 here.
Lewis heard you. Bama, largest lead at 10.
No rim protector. Let's pound it inside.
Petty probing against Perry. Spots Kira Lewis Jr. wide open. Good shooting. I think it's fun. Smith feeds Jones. Now Lewis the runner. And the putback by Jones. Lewis will give him another 20 seconds. Check that at do will. And now Lewis will steal it. That is beautiful. 9 to go. Lewis. Jones gets it back. Outside to Lewis. Yes, sir.
Hit those. That one's too strong. Kira Lewis Jr. launching a 3 and knocking it down.
Hands by Alabama, right? Defensively to start this game.
Bolden. That's short. Another loose ball. Lewis 3. That's off. State, you can see that game currently on the SEC network with about 2 minutes to go. Alabama leading 21-11, a 12-0 run. Make it 14-0.
Oh yeah, we do. 30-8.
Unbelievable.
There'll be a bunch of shots like that this year in college ball. Maybe not that severe. That is shocking.
Lewis, after launching a 40-footer, throws one up with the left, can't get it to go. Alabama. Lewis one-on-one with Mann. That's a freshman guard coming. Payne comes over, but that's a goaltend.
That's a really
Eric Musselman not to do it.
Yeah. It seems like a huge opportunity for Florida to get a stop and a basket before half. To just give them a little bit of life. Going into the half, they come out and hit a 3 to start the second half.
Lewis, fadeaway 3, way too long. And here comes Keontae.
Today, the dude can make free throws.
Exactly right, and make a lot of them.
You don't miss anything.
Well, Lewis had a layup, and he left that left-handed.
President, our athletic director, you know, and you know, they have people they report to. I think in the NFL it's a little different setup that way.
Lewis, lefty blocks. Good job by Omar Payne. 10, Blackshear on the bench with 14 for Florida. Still down 6, 8:40 to go. Good job out of the timeout. Kira Lewis, penalty in conference play. Inside drive, no good. Offensive rebound. Here's your 3. Lewis, money.
Just like that, Herb Jones is a competitive.
Lewis one-on-one over Payne. No good. The big rebound by Lewis. Petty into the lane, high floater, no good. Offensive rebound, and now a 3 from Lewis.
That's off, and Florida able to. And that's just not going to work at this level. Easy layup. Lewis. Utah out of options. An attacking guard going downhill. Lewis to speed again. That one short, gets his own rebound and puts it back. They have been great on the offensive glass. Now to be determined to stay in front of the ball. Can you do it? They switch, lock on Lewis. He blows by him. Can't get it to go. Payne with the rebound. And clean up the miss, Ravi. Lewis. 3 too strong. Rebound. And Reese didn't get it to him. And all of a sudden, the Alabama offense is stalled a little bit. Lewis, the hard drive. Nice take. No. And a rebound to Florida. This is crazy. And now they do. Lewis had his mind made up. Lewis blocked Lewis there. So fast, man. Blackshear just like magnets on that board over there that Mike White works with. Lewis, he's been off all game, and he missed that one and a rebound every time, or at least the basket. Lewis. Oh, tough shot. Kyra Lewis. 4-point game. Bama ball, they're down. Well, don't give a 3, right? To Florida. Blackshear blocked it. Blackshear blocked it, and Gators out.
Just over 2 minutes in. Lewis left open. Screen from Reese. Comes up short.
And they shoot 30 a game. You're going to play streaky.
Lewis. Showtime.
The freedom as long as you do these things on the defensive end.
Lewis, the block. Penetrating and finishing with a bounce.
Such a quick tempo on every possession.
Petty's been held in check so far. He'll spot Lewis wide open. Lead is 5 for the tie. Reese spots Kyra Lewis Jr. Swade move and a prettier finish by Lewis. Off the bounce, there's the speed and the finish.
The elite. He's going to be a handful in that high rent district in the A10.
No doubt. One possession game. Lewis rejected by Golden. How about the preseason second team All-Atlantic 10. Lewis, top of the kid. A bank is open on a Sun. Resume builder as Francis throws up a brick.
How about the fact that Chris Mooney is 6-4 all time against SEC teams?
Runner by Lewis. He's averaging about a 10th of that so far this year. Lewis off the crossover. Oh. Rejected by Burton at the rack. Ahead to Gill. Good defense by Bolden. Here comes Lewis. Strong finish.
On Lewis and Gilliard.
Lewis probe it. Left side of the paint and a finish.
Is that quick or what?
Here in Tuscaloosa. Week after that, Mississippi State comes to town.
Pretty tough way to start, don't you think? At Florida, at Kentucky, and the
Kunkel for 3. So Alabama dodges all those bullets.
Yeah, they Kyra Lewis. They didn't deserve it, and it's hard enough to stop Belmont. One great three-point shooter. Don't need to close out the way he did.
5.5 assists per game this year. That leads the OVC. Down and out. Floor dives, deflections. Late in the shot clock. Lewis got it. Back-to-back threes, Alabama.
Yeah, I think Reese is the most underrated part of their offense. Spreads the floor, passes it well.
So Lewis with the pass, and then he bails out Herb Jones. Last season, just 2 points per game. The extra expert from Reese allows Lewis to get to the rim.
Alex Reese gets on the floor.
3-on-2. Petty to Lewis, the layup.
I mean, look at playing for Nate Oates.
Yeah.
He might have lost 10 pounds in this game alone with this conditioning.
Up and down we go. Lewis, that one looked offline from the start. Petty has 3 triples. Loves that pass. Lewis blocked at the rim. Muszynski got a piece of it. Look back at what he did at Buffalo the last 2 years. 59 wins. 2 victories in the NCAA tournament. Now you got to find a new blanket Christmas present. The shot glass is just overdone, right? You got to move on. You got to find something else. There is Lewis to the basket for 2 points. I think it's safe to say this team is going to play a bit faster than it has in recent years. Converted on Wednesday, and Alabama, we'll see what happens on this possession. They're going to go for 90+ in consecutive games.
Sanford, empty again. Alabama by 11. Alabama by 13.
Wow, big time basketball.
Sharkey's pass deflected. Here comes Alabama. Lewis defended well that time. I think
nice set.
Unselfish pass by Petty, and then Lewis unable to finish.
Clever when he gets in there around the rim, even though he's only about 5'10".
I had a chance to look at Nate Oates after that. He's able to crack a smile.
But when you travel back from Hawaii, that next game, 2 or 3 days later, is really tough.
Kyra Lewis, Scott Padgett, and he will bring in J.P. Robinson, and Sharkey will sit. It's Robinson trying to find Lewis. Balance 3, no good. Dupree near the buzzer. Yes, with 4 seconds remaining.
Big time put back there by Dupree.
Woo! Little rim job. Star-studded matchup right there, right in front of us, Murray. And Lewis penetrated, but Sanford good defense.
Alabama, you want to keep the double-digit lead if you can.
J.P. Robinson in the game, commits the turnover. Fancy pass, Petty.
You got to use the whole 30 seconds, but use a little clock, then execute on the back end of this clock.
In and out.
Lewis along the baseline, popped it over Watkins. And a rebound. Lewis into the paint, left hand, bounced out. Second chance for Petty, and Alabama comes away with it.
Now Stevens is only a 28% three-point shooter. He needs to get inside the lane.
Lewis for 3. What hit the...
A lot of times people think of that redshirt year as a negative. That can be a real developmental season.
Step back 3, Lewis too strong.
Than to actually stop it.
Myron Jones got blocked by Herbert Jones. Bolden pushes it up to Kyra Lewis off the glass, didn't go. And a rebound for Seth. An award that Nate Oates gives out after every game called the Blue Collar Award. This is Kyra Lewis getting blocked by Stevens, and that's the one.
Now because that rebound went into the backcourt, the shot clock is going to reset to 30, not 20.
Lewis off the screen, that's good for 3. Kyra Lewis up 7. Lewis gets it back from Reese, misses the 3. Stevens lock and the game clock. About 5 seconds came off as Alabama has the ball. Lewis strikes to the basket.
Remember, John Petty Jr. for Alabama, one of their top scorers, has 3 fouls.
Long 3 from Lewis missed.
The second chance points, that is.
And now a turnover. Jones gets the steal. Kyra Lewis on the breakaway to the basket. Timeout.
Forced shot. Penn State doesn't need those.
Lewis blows by the defense but couldn't finish. Rebound. Curtis Jones back on the other end. That rolls out. Jalen Forbes the rebound. Kyra Lewis to the hoop. He floats it off the back of the rim. Jones looks uncomfortable as he gets it in. Lewis, shot clock winding down. He misses. Rebound, put.
A 9-0 run for the Nittany Lions. Kira Lewis tries to stop it but can't. Reese. They're 1 for their last 10. Kyra Jones blocked by Stevens.
And that's why Stevens, you got to do it defensively.
There's the defense from Watkins with a block.
Como got there late, Eli. He ended up with a blocking foul. He just got there late.
Baseline move, easy touch off the glass.
From him when he gives it up.
And you'll likely have to keep Kira Lewis in the ball game a good bit today as he misses the layup inside.
Back then, but they've got to score on these possessions.
Petty. Lewis alone. Half and coming up at halftime. We've got all sorts of special things going on from the SEC network. As a pop and a stop for Kira.
9.
Kira Lewis on a nice easy feed into the paint. Good pass to Lewis. To Petty. Behind the bounce to Kira Lewis. A 3? No. Rebound.
They're spread very, very good offensively. Got the guys in the corner with a high post screen. Here comes a high post screen.
Shot clock at 5. Doesn't matter if you're going to take him from that. Holding Stephen F. Austin to just 56 points. They average 85. Petty saves it. Great ball movement. Turnover, no, it gets picked up by Bama and laid up by Kyle.
Fills him out and hits a tough shot.
Junior college transfer, undersized 4, Harper Baker. Here's Lewis Jr. Gets it on the rim and swirl for Nate Oates. Got a 6 seed in the tournament. He turned it into a lucrative payday in the SEC. Lewis off the offensive rebound from Bolden. Kira Lewis. 11. That is the first-year head coach Jay Ladner's resume. Former Southern Miss Guard. He was on the team that won the NIT in 1987. One of the great teams for this Southern Miss team out of Conference USA. And he just plays as hard as anybody we've seen in this gym. Around a screen, there's a foul.
Offense and slow it down.
Watson, very tough shot. And here's Petty. Here's Lewis. Lewis. What a save by Lewis. Oh my goodness, Kira Lewis Jr. Crashed into a monitor.
We've heard a lot of coaches lament their players doing that. You know, they prep the shot. Wow. That was
Herbert Jones at the line, and he misses the front end. Alabama just about in a double bonus. They will be for the rest of the game. Malone splits the defense. Malone. They almost get a steal. Good play by Shackelford. 22 on the shot clock.
This. What a show. Have we been in the Bahamas?
Nice cylindrical.
Maybe too long.
I don't think that.
Well, to the breakneck pace of Alabama. Jones on the feed. Smith blocked by Halliburton. Cleaned up Lewis, and that's knocked away as well. Alabama self playing the game at their speed, and for Iowa State from deep it hasn't worked out. They're 2 for 8 from 3. Lewis with a little floater. He's been quiet, and Kira Lewis Jr.
Kira trying to go down the empty side of the floor, and Iowa State would have no part of it. Jumped and doubled the ball.
Halliburton looked like he got a piece of that shot. In a lot of other early season tournaments, this is maybe a semifinal.
Well, what you have is two teams that could very well be right there on the edge on Selection Sunday. Man, a neutral game, and it's hard to argue against it because he's unique with that length and that size and his ability to make plays.
He contests that shot from Lewis after deflecting the pass. 7-0 run. Smith, Jones, Lewis. And that's over the backcourt scores table.
I don't know if he went out there in the hallway and ran a little bit, but that ankle rolled all the way in. I love that last play by Steve Prohm. He screened point. John Petty has made 8 shots in this ball game. The rest of the team combined has made 4. Kira Lewis is a guy that's got to be an offensive factor in this cycle, and you still don't take away his airspace. If you're Iowa State, the only way you lose this game is you allow John Petty to continue to make spotted up shots.
Young through the lane, he missed it. Rebounded by Reese, who missed much of the first half for 2 fouls. Kira Lewis, 5 seconds into the shot clock. Baskets here, just to remind everyone.
As fast as this game's being played, Alabama has a ton of time to get back in this game because Iowa State's going to continue to play fast.
33 ago, it has turned into an Alabama getaway. Wow. An 18-point Cyclone advantage here on day 2 of the battle for Atlantis.
Wow, that's more than capable of being in the NCAA tournament.
Pick 7 from the Big 12 by the league's coaches. But you can come around. Now you're starting to sound like Walton. Nixon from Halliburton. Nixon with a 3 from Halliburton. What combination
that's the Kira Lewis, John Petty Jr., Javian Davis, Herbert Jones, and Alex Reese. Lewis a jumper, and that is in and out underneath.
Nate telling his guys spread it and drive it, but can they finish when they get there?
Lewis tries short with that shot. Anthony.
You officiate from the ground up, and you officiate from the defense to the offense.
Lewis inside off the glass and good. Kira Lewis
to play. Really good action. How about the 22 turnovers today by Michigan? Other than that, boy, how good were they?
Anthony with
the easy step to the side shot by Petty. A good start.
Lewis steps in. Kira Lewis and the dunk. The steal and the throwdown.
It falls off of that right there. And he loves the hard parts of ball. He loves the weightlifting, the conditioning, the line drills. Doesn't take himself out of practice. And his goal.
Play Tech with the jumper. And North Carolina back up to a 4-point advantage.
That's beautiful. That is outstanding play by Kira Lewis.
Ankle. And back playing for the first time. Started here today.
Yeah, you heard Seth talk about it going into the last break. The value of Brandon Robinson is a share. Garrison Brooks is having a nice game. He has to stay aggressive, but also keep moving the ball, which he's done. You watch all 4 films that they've played. He understands how to do it.
I do so badly, and I will finish by being catapulted into the arena. I will go so far. You know what I'm saying? Like that I will go off that thing and just keep it going. And Paradise Island, the way it did those islands, but the entire Bahamas was impacted emotionally, psychologically.
That they've experienced and quickly puts basketball in its proper perspective when you see those pictures and hear the stories and kids being relocated without hard shots. So you don't want to foul his hard shots. You know, he's shooting 38-39% from the floor. And if you're Alabama, you've done a good job of guarding him, pretty much containing him.
Good for Cole Anthony.
Now, he really hasn't forced a lot today, maybe 3 or 4 plays. He's let the game come to him because Alabama has made him work.
Lost to Evansville.
Yeah.
And now Duke to Stephen F. Austin.
And we're getting ready to have our 4th #1 team of the season, which tells us those initial polls are an absolute guess anyways. But if you've ever been to a Kyle
Cat puts it up and in. Off balance, and the freshman able to get it done.
Pretty good feat. Guys, they get the word out and don't think for a second that they are not actively being recruited off those mid-major campuses at all times. One of the most frustrating is the seal of Armando Bacot. I'm pretty sure it's Bacot on the far block that had his guy sealed off, and Leaky Black just drove the seal. And we're not talking Florida's struggle, but how they handled starting out 2-2 and to go win 3 in a row and to beat a very physical, tough Xavier team. Mike White's guys really answered the bell during feed. A good touch.
Michigan a winner earlier today as they beat Iowa State.
Every time I put the film on, that just comes as a big guy. I learned the speed of the game, the strength you have to play with, but he really pursues the ball standing, and they will have their hands full, though, staying up to the beat of Miles Powell, who I was blown away with yesterday in a one-on-one sit-down conversation.
A little bit more patience, a little bit better looks this trip, finally.
leaning in, and the running one-hander doesn't go. Rebound pulled. One of their last 8 shots.
He's back in.
From three-point land, 1 of 4. Just 1 of 6 overall tonight. How unusual for him. Has a nice run to the basket. He's laid it off the
hands up. Very different look. I caught it first time down the floor. The middle will be open a little bit. There won't be a lot of there against the against this zone defense. See how they come out with their hands, arms and hands up, and it's something they haven't seen a lot of.
And Meggie, the Paladins are shooting down. Mounts with the miss on the bunny, putting it back. And Kyra Lewis, what a move around Alex Hunter. Bama, JV, and Davis with 1 foul is in, replacing Smith and his 4 as Lewis shoots and cans it from long range. Number 45 in black and purple.
We've got a little size trying to guard lines right now. I'm trying to guard Shackelford a little bit now.
Lewis pulled back neatly, missed it. Won't go. Petty the rebound. Alabama now with a 4-point lead. Rejected by Noah Gurley. Throw him the basketball.
Yeah, right now he's a green light shooter. No, he's a yellow light shooter.
Lays it up for 2 more. Rebound inside. Nothing to spin. Stolen on the outlet pass. Kyra Lewis for 2. And here is Shackelford, who had 16 and 5 the other night. Backdoor over the head layup, a beauty for 2. And here we go again with the Bama 10-point lead on the board. Shackelford. Lewis.
Viewers to try to understand.
Alex Reese inbounds it. Here's Kyra Lewis. Open but doesn't go for Ingram. Running the floor. Kyra Lewis accelerates. Gets around Sealish and lays it in. Wow. The other day against Flagler College. And 10 against Miami. He's dangerous. Nice setup to Kyra Lewis. Count it.
Boca Raton, it's really a nice place. I did a couple of television games down there earlier.
And Kyra Lewis. Cornelius can't make it go. Thought he was fouled. He looks at Doug Shows, gets no satisfaction. And now it's wedged in. The shot clock or the night. Nice rejection inside again by Alabama. Shackelford, baseline, off the window. Lewis, no. Number 15 in white we're speaking of. Average 10.2 points and 8.7 rebounds a game in high school. Forbes to the corner. And another.
C's usually shoot it. Of course, they don't have all those like that, but they have some kids from D1, but they're not shooting it very well tonight.
As a team, only Taylor, no good. Rebounded by his like number Davis. Davis 2 rebounds from a double-double and a Shackle. Doesn't.
Last season.
And the follow-up is good.
Look, this summer, and he is going to sort of run this Alabama basketball team.
Forced it up, no good.
Good rebound.
Rebound, Jake. Bolden misfiring. Follow-up doesn't go.
Players I've already mentioned.
And of course, here's Shackelford. Reese. Kyra Lewis for 3.
Past years.
The 8th turnover of the night by Alabama doesn't cost them. My goodness. And the pace. And you know, the interesting thing also is the turnovers have not been quite as numerous as I expected. in the first regular season.
Comes.
You should have been a coach.
Yeah, I should have been.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people say.
Kira Lewis, ESPN app. I'll tell you, Broder right there. 6'8" twice. Penn has led by 3. It's been a dandy. Final 4 seconds. Layup, no. And that is going to... Has 15 tonight. And the 8-point lead for the Quakers, their largest. And a foul on Broder as a nice layup. Opportunities.
Good spacing by Alabama. Good spacing by both teams, actually, on offense.
Shot doesn't go for Goodman. Lewis, he had time, didn't go.
Whoa.
Donahue says, how could you miss that? That's for the benefit of you lip readers out there. And Bama takes advantage. Andy Wine alone inside for the bucket. And then Bama answers on the running baseline for
Kid. Really not a post player, but that's where they've got it matched up. It's about where Alabama lies with their team.
Reverse layup by
shot missed. You got to guard the dribbler now because it's going to be big. They're going to take the ball to the hole on Alabama.
Bama answers back. Reese with the steal.
Yeah, big play by Scott. He hadn't been starting, but that's a big play right there.
Trey trying
off AJ. Everything's going off AJ. Excuse me.
No, it's fine. Goodman missed it. The reverse layup for 2.
Yeah, timeout.
Penn is led by 9. Bama has led a couple of times by 6.
Big trip, big trip.
Kira Lewis. He missed the layup. And now Bama with a chance to take the lead with a 3. No good. Rebound with 20 seconds. Count it. And Bama leads.
Some more rotations off the United States bench. Cunningham has it though. Well, come off the bench if you can't find guys on the floor.
Before he picks up the foul.
Patricus he is so, he is as close to automatic as you can be. And back-to-back threes. Got the answer. Turnover, chance for the United States to run again. Lewis handles it, goes up. For a pretty layup, and he has some elevation too. Clearly on a mission when they arrived here in Crete. Every single game they've put in. Very focused, very relentless performances. Lewis has to open out, see what he has, clears out this side, steps back, long 3 is long, and Russia again with no.
know, he's a little taller, a little longer than Smith. They go in there and he shows great patience.
Shackelford, the freshman, answers back. On the floor now for Missouri. Petty will try again. This is long rebounds we're talking about.
Dave, you sit there and you go, well, Alabama doesn't play inside out, but really they do.
This league leads the team in scoring, assists, steals. Reese just checked in. He did not get the start today. Dalen Smith did for Lewis. Beetle Bolden. Reese threw it right to Pickett. 3-on-3. 5 shooting. Has 4 turnovers though. Boy, Petty just can't seem to find the range. He's now missed 3 from behind the arc, but Alabama keeps it alive. Steals it, and a foul on Missouri as Herb Jones tried to lay it in. Pinson will pick that up. That'll be his first. Attempted dunk a minute ago. He might have jammed that wrist a little bit. Long rebound to Pinson. Nice, no look. Out to Lewis, here's Bolden. That one's no good. Pinson with that rebound, and Alabama now 2 of 13, or make it 2 of 4. For the tie, takes it right to the basket, no good. Jones there for the rebound, had it, lost it. Now Pinson comes out of there hard to get to 47 here in the first half.
That's why you make the big bucks.
Thanks. Dylan Smith building a wall under that basket. Now Kyra Lewis comes out of there. Kyra, Shackelford. Here's Kyra Lewis, double team, kicks it back out. Petty.
Really walling off those court balance, defensive court balance. I mean, you see your point guard going downhill, you got to have a 2 guard or a 3 guard give you court balance and get back. No free throws.
Missouri with 23 bench points. Pinson has 8 of those. League into the college game for the first season.
And what you have to say about Jerry Stackhouse, you see good defense that we're building here. We don't care if they get into the tournament or not. We're trying to build a program.
Reese wide open for 3. He knocks it.
We'll find a better crew working the game tonight.
Swing it around the corner. Bolden, 2 threes. They've hit 4 of their last 5. Matter of fact, they only had 2 field goals from inside the 3-point line. Both those by Kyra Lewis. The Sioux stepping back, knocking home the 3. Young man with 4 double-doubles on the year.
6'10", 212 pounds out of Croatia, showing you he's got a touch from behind that 3-point.
That's his second 3 of the game. 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Shackelford answers right back and count it. All banged up. He was kind enough to get me right. Here's Kyra Lewis. Shackelford. I'll tell you what, Pippen might have got.
Watch for the pick and pop here.
Bolden, way too strong. Kyra Lewis kicks it back to Reese. Shackelford. Trying to find a little bit of room. They'll swing it around. Kyra Lewis kicks it to the corner, and Bolden buries it.
Plays enables your offense to be more effective and efficient.
Davis baseline.
Yourself because you hadn't seen the basketball go through the net as often.
Here's Bolden wide open. Pippen almost had it. Kyra Lewis. Nifty dribbling. Davis. Blocked by guess who? Saban.
Well, I think it was the right pass. Galen Smith has to go up and grab that with 2 hands.
Shackelford hit the side of the backboard.
What makes him so dangerous, you can run offense through him. He's a great decision maker in knowing where to get the ball, and also could knock down that 15 to 17-foot jump shot. Alabama clears. It's a good defensive possession by Alabama right there. Set up by Little. Clip that out and show it to every kid in America.
He has now drawn 62 charges in his career. Shackelford knocks down the field.
Bolden with 10 to shoot, excuse me. The other Bolden, yeah.
There by just maybe taking one step too more in the help position.
Shot blocked by Mc. I would have taken that bet, but so far both teams have really been cruising on offense. Alabama continues to do. Lawson, he's got 10, and the Gamecock lead swells to 6.
Couisnard's grimacing right now, fighting through that pain.
3 on the other end for Shaq. Lewis turns on the burners, finds an open shooter for 3. Left it short, long rebound. Reese left alone. Reese makes him pay.
I pick and roll with Alex Reese, pick and pop actually, no roll.
Reese again. Not that time. Yeah, whether the extra pass, a great feed down low, a good swing on the perimeter. Here's another one setting up an open 3. Hard, all evened up with just over 9 minutes to play.
Frank Martin's going with 2 point guards in Hannibal and Couisnard.
Drive and kick open. Sets the screen for Lewis here.
Boy, just look how Keyshawn Bryant, that is tough for any offensive player to. Too much space on that jump shot, Mike.
Lewis. Kick out pass, open 3 for Bolden. On court. Alabama will bleed some clock. Inside Jones. Jones. Lewis to Bolden. Bolden fading, firing, miss. Reese.
For a team that's
No free throws.
Missouri with 23 bench points. Pinson has 8 of those.
There by just maybe taking one step too more in the help position.
Shot blocked by McCourt. Alabama will bleed some clock. Inside Jones. Jones.
Thing that's working.
Lewis, that lob's better, but challenged by Wiley. Lewis with the dish. Point blank range.
Can that defense now rise up and get the stops they need? Alley-oop. Layup miss. Johnson continues. Most competitive dudes on the floor to close out a tight ball game in conference play. Inside drive, no good. Offensive rebound.
Game with a doubleheader. Our friend Zach, who was standing right behind us, he was wearing the University of Alabama Huntsville jersey. Oh, look at this.
He needs an Alabama jersey.
This event sold out the last 3 years. Another excellent crowd during this.
And then all of a sudden you face that team again. There are going to be some kind of extra emotions.
Nice dish by Lewis.
And point.
Lewis hits the cutter.
Just a little too fast.
Penn State 7 turnovers. They only average 13 a game. Herbert Jones couldn't go.
5.8. That's 6th best in America.
Getting ready to have our 4th #1 team of the season already. And back in 1983, we had 7 #1s. We're going to go past.
Davis. Lewis back to Davis.
Instead, I just hollered and screamed if the bad shooter took a bad shot. So.
And the one-hander and a nice roll for her fouls. Number 11 in white. Tyra Lewis floats it up, and nobody picked up JV and can't get around Winchester. Lewis. Reese. Matchup problems.
A little bit, he can.
Yeah. Not that much here. Wide open. And the layup too. FAU has led by 3 early.
Good pass.
But out of bounds.
We'll play with a post player that they won't go to a great deal. And Galen Smith. Good move there on the out of bounds play.
Forgetting the fact he was blocked, comes up with a block of his own. And
Here is Lewis. Good entry pass. Unable to score from in close, though, is all looking inside. What a finally get it there in. It is. Oh, my goodness.
That's what they were doing last night. 2 bounces.
Hall slips, and the ball slips off.
Or they have to get to the free throw line. They haven't got to the line enough.
And what did Frank Martin tell us today as Mack had that shot bothered by Silva? Frank Martin elects to keep him on the floor for right now. And the alley-oop to Dante Hall.
It's been bothering this team.
How about A&M opens up in the zone?
Mack, up and under move, first for points. Petty, too strong, rebound mid.
Gators in a man-to-man, 8 to shoot. Lewis sleeps it. That's your playmaker.
Number 24 because of Kobe Bryant. There's Tillman. Wonder if he's wearing 23 because of Michael Jordan. Mark Smith, corner 3. These two teams are now 2 of 20 from behind the arc.
Really good. Yeah. So, I mean, it's not just Alabama missing.
That's off the front of the rim. Long rebound out to Shackelford. Chased down by Mark Smith. Another opportunity for the Tigers. Nate Oates screaming, grab the ball.
Well, I think Gary's his name. They lost him to ACLs. 165, 168. But, no, you're right, Dave. It's very apparent.
Evans inside, kicks it back out to Lee. Yankovic just had it blocked by Lewis.
And now John Petty, I mean,
looking at the injuries that they have, you have to say that Coach Nate Oates has done an outstanding job this season. Vanderbilt can't help defensively, but you can already tell here early, Alabama's got a little bit more pep in their step.
Dasu from the corner.
The same thing for the Commodores. They're going for their second win in SEC play. You just keep playing your style of basketball.
It's someone who's closer to 6'2" than 6'11".
Well, for me, it comes down to his decision-making skills with the ball. And without the ball, for that matter, you see that
kick out to Kotsar.
That's the next evolution in his game, isn't it? Catching it from that three-point line, confident shot. Oh, beautiful pass.
But an air ball shot. Alabama right now +9 in rebounding. Couisnard spots up a three. Rims off. No need to foul if you're Alabama. Bolden into front court, throws up a three. And Alabama keeps
every game. It's impeccable for Mississippi State to be solid defensively and try to get stops on the other end.
Blocked over there by Lewis.
You were doing great.
You were doing great. Dyson Carter.
Gives you another guy who can get in the lane. Dribble, drive, kick. He did it there. You saw he couldn't shoot it with that left hand. He can pass it.
Reminder to everybody out there, we'll be checking in with Joe Lunardi. Be heading to the bunker and getting some. Crowley finds Schuler. Schuler hits the triple. Do that if you gave me 100 attempts, I promise you. That is so awesome. On a wooden floor. You don't want patch depth.
Thanks in large part to the fourth most difficult schedule in all of college basketball. Aggies with the ball first. Mitchell lines up a three and knocks it down.
Matchup Herbert Jones on Savion Flagg.
Chandler unloads a three and sinks. It's one thing if you lose, but if you do so and you're stale on offense, that's a tough combo.
Yeah, there's one thing about pace. As long as guys share the ball and move it, and again, he's the high flyer. He will attack the rim, try to get to the free throw line.
There's a chance at the NBA next year after it would be a productive sophomore campaign.
Jackson Duke by 2 points. Close ball game that had a chance to win.
And I think you can win again at Texas A&M.
He has been a workhorse inside and down the stretch. He's not been denied around the rim.
If you're Alabama, you'd love to
pressuring the ball. They're going to look to help off and pinch and force them to shoot contested shots.
Javonte deep in the shot clock and Smart to Hoist. Got it.
Done that, made a lot of big plays, and his time on the Plains.
Extra pass, corner three, Isaac Okoro used opportunities. How does that play out for those two that you currently have as #1 seeds? How many losses would drop them?
Hole to start the game. Bama has fought their way right back in it.
Smith can't squeeze it. It's into the hands of Wiley. His 13th rebound.
Tough floater, but that's what Kyra Lewis does. Doing a really good job at the point guard, but another near turnover.
Well, Edwards hesitated. That's his shot, and then coming from behind, Kyra Lewis defensively, and here comes Wheeler out of the back court. Edwards. Almost. Pull-up jump shot is rejected by Lewis. Still time on the shot clock. Wheeler. Really fortunate. Nice play off the weak side. Here it is for Harris. Big exchange. Outside to Fagan. Oh, rims in and out. Edwards turned the corner. Hammonds couldn't handle it. Good save. The front of the iron wall.
But it has also played a good half, but not a full game. Foul drawn by Pons.
And Alabama continuing to have the ball handling trouble. Another turnover. Number 17 around the basket.
The normal.
NATO, it's taught some statistics classes.
Isaiah Joe's usually more reliable than he was there on the defensive end. He's a little bit banged up, and he's an underrated defender. And
hurting the ball, most important thing against Alabama.
Here's Javonte Smart from straight away.
Not predetermined what he was going to do with that basketball till he got to the rim. Very well done.
Challenge at the rim by Emmett Williams. Jada. Man, he knocks down his first over. I was trying to motivate myself for having to work with you again, so we all do what we have to do to get through. Sometimes you hurt my feelings. I wasn't going to go about 17 feet, hits a fade. Again, shows you the development of John Petty's offensive game. McGurl came in as a sharpshooter. Snead has scored 3 in the first 4 minutes of this half. Here's McGurl again. Triple screen, feet not set.
Got a nice rousing ovation before the game tonight on his final regular season game here inside Coleman Coliseum.
He can get to the basket or get to the free throw line.
Corner 3 from Albert, no good.
Second part of that is protecting the rim and then getting out to shooters.
Lawson, and finally Carolina misses a shot. Finds Bryant down low. Bryant, no. Loose ball. Saved by
Alabama that can put up 90 to 100 on any given.
Comes out, wide open 3, comes up a little bit short. And we should tell everybody that Tom Crean told us at shoot around this morning that,
and it's still a good look, right? He understands where he's going to be most successful.
boy, back and forth. Big scoring runs in college basketball this year. Pull up jump shot, Edwards off the front of the iron. Lewis again. Wheeler, step back jumper off the side of the iron. And rebound taken, and a foul is going to be.
Here's the redshirt freshman from Serbia. Plavsic has missed his first 2 looks. 8 to shoot.
Williams inside. Nothing doing. I've been told Jimmy be a tech. Here's Javonte Smart giving it up. A lot of energy for Alabama on this defensive possession.
Ball reversals before they get a shot at the basket.
McCall Mayween has his shot go up the side of the backboard. Transition. Here's the freshman. And Deshaun Gordon was wide right.
Nice pin down to an open basket curl. There's that guy, Herb Jones, making another defensive possession.
And you got it on the schedule. Deep three from Cartier Jada is off the mark. Jada didn't start this game first nonsense.
But you're late in the clock, and you've got to be aware. 4 seconds. Tough three. Now you got Kira Lewis in the open floor.
Nobody picks up Jada. They can't cash in, though.
Well, they got a break right there. Alabama look.
A road tilt. Nate Oates has been preaching to his team about consistency in this game tonight.
Disu just mistakes.
Disu appears to be shaken up, slow to get back, walking with a noticeable limp right off.
With these guys. And then another game I'll never forget is, of course, Tennessee last season. Hard-fought game.
Disu.
Defense, well, you got to stop the ball. You can't let him have a straight line drive rim to rim.
You might as well go for the rebound, right? That's off the iron from Drew Smith. Rebound to Reese. Petty to Lewis.
And then they clear it out. Always in rhythm.
A dozen points, 12 rebounds. Ties his career high for rebounds.
That'd be back-to-back. He had a double-double.
Ball got reversed. You have to close out long on him. He is thinking catch and shoot.
Auburn has it.
Can block shots. High basketball IQ is standing right there.
McLemore misses from 3.
Arm up and act like it was you, and maybe the official score gives it to you.
Maxey. A little bit strong, and the rebound down to Lewis. And again, Alabama's going to look. Alabama's not shooting well. Their leading scorer, John Petty, does not have a point in this game, and they've got a chance to tie or take the lead on this position.
Kobe Brown. Jalen Smith building 3 of the 4 3-pointers for Alabama.
Just great feel by Lewis here. Could feel the defense collapse.
Senior on this team, the transfer from West Virginia, got a nice rousing ovation before the game tonight on his final regular season. Side the backboard, Reese hit his first one, but has misfired badly on his last 2.
Yeah, he missed Forbes in the corner, and that allowed Saban Lee. Just needs to get a little physically stronger, maybe communicate a little bit more, right? But he's communicating with his play.
Saban Lee said career high 34 against Georgia. And Pippen Jr. flying to the hoop. Little floater by Lee is good. Bama. Coach Stackhouse would love to dampen this season by Alabama. As his team not playing for a whole lot. It's got it. Pippen. Pull-up jumper, that's off the mark. But
Remo, that when Kira Lewis is dribbling, that's the only other 3-point shooter you got to worry about.
Steal by Lewis. Lewis shot. Alabama back on top. Another lead change in this game. Kusnard can't get it to drop.
Everything Carolina has gotten, it's been contested. Tough twos they had to make.
Kusnard just powers his way in.
Period.
LSU controls the tip, 15-4, undefeated in conference play, and a drive from Javonte.
It's all about LSU's. They are relentless. You've already talked about it. Getting on that offensive glass, man. It's demanded every day.
So John Petty returns to the game for Alabama, or shows up in the game for the first time. 5th in the league in scoring.
Kid, he just showed you he can score with his back to the basket. He can go either shoulder on you. But his ability to shoot that high three ball at a high clip, yeah, that's high-level stuff.
Marlon Taylor down the paint.
Far in this game it has been. Alabama and Nate Oates moving him around, making those bigs for LSU cover a lot of different spots on the floor.
Mark Smith, corner three. These two teams are down 2 of 20 from behind the arc.
It's someone who's closer to 6'2" than 6'11".
Well, for me, it comes down to his decision-making skills with the ball. And without the ball, for that matter, you see that
Lewis. And Alabama back on top. Couisnard, he gets the floater to drop, and we're tied.
They're going to get
first win for the day. Here's Cackle-Reese for three. No good. Fowler sets it outside.
Stephen F. hasn't really turned these turnovers into many points thus far.
Como does the 10-point lead with a minute to go for Alabama. Lions, yes, and a foul.
Thomas again off the screen, misses everything.
A little high. Got to shoot the ball a little earlier in your shot, give a little more air when you're excited.
That'll be interesting, Sonny, to see if Olenicek can stretch the defense like Stevens could. That's not really his.
Shooting a three.
Backside screen for Kravitz.
Nice curl.
Big shot from the elbow. 1.4.
No whistles, Roy. Love it.
Still waiting the under 8 media timeout. Campbell doesn't care.
Shin issue was in a walking boot on his way into shoot around today. Nick Weatherspoon leaves it short.
Virginia Tech, in their struggles since he's been out of the lineup, lost again against a good Clemson team today. The point guard is invaluable.
Saban lit.
An extremely efficient, extremely effective, quiet almost, Kira Lewis Jr., but dominating this game.
Like, you just look at the numbers. They're shooting 1 to 13 from the three-point line. So, yeah, you're right. You make 1 or 2 of those, and you're right back into it.
That's a tough shot. Tough little runner. Credit LSU's D.
Off the backboard for one-on-one from Kevon Harris.
Well, terrific man-to-man defense by Herb Jones, wasn't it?
Rhodes the pull-up, and he drops it. And he's got
In my opinion, Alabama has.
Do they answer? No.
Traffic hangs and offensive foul. That'll be number 2 on Xavier Pinson. He got that elbow. 3 of the 4 3-pointers for Alabama.
Just great feel by Lewis here. Could feel the defense collapse.
Career high 34 against Georgia. And Pippen Jr. flying to the hoop. Pippen, pull-up jumper. That's off the mark, but
Not really cast just a protective. It's got cushion on it, but it eliminates an offensive threat.
Offense crossover. Now Couisnard with 10 to shoot. Pulls up from 18. Again way up.
Make 2 defenders have to worry about you and then get it out to your teammate. That's the essence of the game.
Couisnard, no.
Everything Carolina has gotten, it's been contested. Tough twos they had to make.
Couisnard just powers his way in.
Nick Weatherspoon is so crucial to this basketball game. He is critical in showing whether they can, just the style that they play with. Your defensive principles, they have to remain the same, but that's what you can't allow.
How you change a program. When he took over, they were one of the worst programs in Power 5 conferences, the arc, and they've missed their last 7 attempts there, and that's where they make a lot of the opportunities to find points.
Dominated teams.
Another miss. I got to start him. You know why? I said, why? He goes, we're down 16-0 without him on the court. Lewis, does Herb Jones epitomize that, playing out there with a cast right now, playing the defense he's played and being as active as he has been?
It's a great job. He only averages just under 21 minutes a game, and he still gets 9 and 9 in league play. I'll focus and play on without him. I would be surprised if we saw him the last 144. You got 27 on
the board under a minute to go.
We spoke of the magic number of threes possibly being 20. They're sitting on 18. That still may be the magic number. Got it.
2 missed free throws from Anthony McLemore with 22 seconds to go. Loom large. That's what allowed the door to stay open for Bama. And
pretty clean look right there for a guy who has had a triple-double. Second player in Alabama history to do so.
Auburn,
Alabama, or not.
They've set an SEC record in 3-point attempts. They've only made 30.
Pull-up jump shot is rejected by Lewis.
Wheeler being able to find himself in the paint.
Hammonds takes it strong to the rim and will earn a couple of free throws. He was open.
It's such a high rate, but 15.5 turnovers a game. He's one of the bottom 50 teams in the country. What a rejection from Kira.
Kira Lewis Jr. slicing down the lane. Alabama, they score in a hurry. They're not interested in
3-point shooters, not just in the SEC, but in the country as well. Vescovi misses.
The normal.
Nato had taught some statistics classes.
It's all about LSU's They are relentless. You've already talked about it. Getting on that offensive glass, man. It's demanded every day.
So John Petty returns to the game for Alabama, or shows up in the game for the first time. 5th in the league in scoring.
First half, and would love to be in that locker room. Ole Miss almost did the same thing last night to Auburn in overtime on their home floor. Kid, he just showed you he can score with his back to the basket. He can go either shoulder on you, but his ability to shoot that high 3 ball at a high clip, that's high level stuff.
Marlon Taylor down the paint. From the floor here early on, 4 of 7 from deep. 5 offensive rebounds. Jada.
Another offensive very competitive, as you've seen really on all those games, with the exception of West Virginia handling Missouri.
Here's McGurl. Extended minutes tonight for Kansas State after missing the last 3. Jada was able to shake Kyra. Had great success with players from Chicago. Jacob Pullen.
Well, he was a great player.
Energy, wasn't he?
He was a great player. And it's been to the court in the last 2 or 3 weeks. Nate Oates was very open with us, saying, you know, we were offensive centric early, trying to establish. Very effective.
A finish by Jada at the rim. He's doing it all.
And this is blow for blow.
Jada from the elbow. Got it! Another.
If I'm K-State, I want Xavier Sneed to touch this ball. He is your leading scorer.
McGurl couldn't quite finish.
Naismith this year. Levon Brown, of course, has been injured. Pippen,
from playing in the SEC and then watching other conferences on TV, it's night and day to me almost. It's incredible just how.
Alabama scores some 2s. Alabama's makeup is not about making 2s unless it's right at the rim.
Nice dribble drive to the little too deep on that one. Mizzou's gone 10.5 minutes without a field goal. Alabama.
Weeks in the college game. I'm talking about bad.
20 out of 20 here in the first. And Reese goes inside, lays it in up over the cylinder. Back to a 10-point game just like that. Kyra Lewis, one of the fastest in the country with the basketball, steals it. And a foul on Missouri as Herb Jones tried to lay it in. Kobe Brown. Jalen Smith building.
That when Kyra Lewis is dribbling, that's the only other 3-point shooter you could worry about.
Steal by Lewis. Lewis all the way. Got it. And a steal again by Lewis. Again all the way.
There's Herbert.
Fletcher stolen away. Here's Kyra Lewis.
Missing a lot of gimmies. They are called free, which could come back to haunt them.
Samir Dowdy with the open floor.
Quick trigger that time. Lewis will give him another 20 seconds. Check that at do well. And now Lewis will steal it.
Have the alley-oop to Payne. It goes off his fingertips. His man is able to pick it up. And then Blackshear turned it over. Good hands by Lewis. On 3 advantage for the Gators. And man had his pocket picked, and he may be hurt. Point guard, Kerry Blackshear. That's why he's not. Nearly turned it over.
As many threes as Alabama does, and they shoot 30 a game. You're going to play streaky.
Lewis, showtime.
Earned himself a head coaching job in the SEC. Good defense here. Michael Banker shooting 46% from beyond the arc over his last 3. Starting to really heat up.
Yeah, I think Reese is the most underrated part of their offense.
And putting him in a difficult position as he's barreling down the lane. So, boy, another steal from Alabama. Feet were already set, and he doesn't take him long to get it off.
Steal by Bama.
Turned it over, did Alabama. Their third. Turned it over, their third.
Pretty unselfish team, pretty athletic team.
Bain lost it. It goes to the baseline. Turnovers, 69-57. Ware lost it. Turnover against the Lumberjacks.
They really got started today, 2 hours before the game.
6'9", 242 with good moves. Out of bounds, off.
So that defense now is something to deal with. Gus Malzahn to fly by, and this is the easy step to the side shot by Petty. A good start.
Lewis steps in. Kyra Lewis.
Rebound inside. Nothing to spin. Stolen on the outlet.
Easy shot. Help each other score.
Seabree works off a screen, then tried to return it inside to
Boca Raton. It's really a nice place. I did a couple of television games down there earlier.
And Kyra Lewis against the Penn Quakers here in the season opener. Turnover again.
He has got to get his game going. This Alabama team thrives on him from the offensive end. We got a jump ball. It'll turn.
Senior on this team, the transfer from West Virginia. Got a nice rousing ovation before the game tonight on his final regular season. Side the backboard. Reese hit his first one, but has misfired badly on his last 2.
Yeah, he missed Forbes in the corner, and that allowed Saban lead. Just needs to get a little physically stronger, maybe communicate a little bit more, right? But he's communicating with his play.
Saban Lee said. Little floater by Lee is good.
Tough.
Bama. Coach Stackhouse would love to dampen this season by Alabama. It's his team not playing for a whole lot. It's got
the same thing for the Commodores. They're going for their second win in SEC play. You just keep playing your style of basketball.
Shot. Alabama back on top. Another lead change in this game. Couisnard can't get it to drop. I wanted this to be a low-scoring game. It's been rather low-scoring. Evans inside, kicks it back out to Lee. Yankovic just had it blocked by Lewis.
Every game. It's impeccable for Mississippi